99X. It's the Morning X. It's Barnes. It's Leslie. And these days, the travel space is going completely nuts. You've got American Airlines now raising their baggage fees. You've got Delta doing all the mess that got everybody freaked out last fall. And full circle, Leslie, the one conversation at dinner that keeps coming up, recurring, because at dinner, you pull your credit card out at the end. And
always.
The question, and every time, are you going to keep your card? Like, everyone keeps asking about the Delta Reserve, and we're asking other people, are you going to keep it? So I know it's on a lot of people's minds because all the rules, like literally right now, everything is changing. So we go to the source and the points guy. That's where you go. We're going to talk to Clint Henderson. Hey, Clint, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to be on with you.
Thank you for joining us. People are just up in it, man. These fees for the credit card going so high for the Delta card. And what are we getting? What are we not getting? I know you guys can break it down.
Yeah, I think the biggest benefit for some of these cards is the companion certificate. So Delta's always had a companion certificate. It was not able to be used in Alaska or Hawaii or anywhere internationally. So I was having trouble using that companion certificate every year. And I use one from Alaska Airlines because I was able to take each of my brothers on trips to Cancun and one to Hawaii using my Alaska Airlines companion certificate. So for the first time, Delta companion certificates are going to be good for Mexico, Central America, Hawaii, and Alaska. That's a pretty huge perk for these. Now, we'll have to see how fare class availability ends up being with these, because sometimes they're tricky to use because you have to have certain fare classes. The good thing about the reserve one, though, is you can also use it for first class. So if you can find the right fare bucket, the right price for these, those companion certificates become much more valuable.
But that's the rub. Every time I try to use my companion ticket, it's never available when you want to go. So you really have to have the ability to put your trip with their schedule. That and the global upgrades, never available.
Yeah.
So as someone who's paying all this money for a card, which I'm still at $550, it just hit my account, my $550 charge. So I guess it must, in the next couple of months, it's going up, right?
Yeah. So if it renews in the next couple of months after that, then it'll be at the higher annual fee. But global upgrade certificates, even regional upgrade certificates, are notoriously difficult to use. It's super annoying. Though I will say, if you hunt and peck, you can find ways to use them. The problem is they put the onus on the consumer, which is not really fair. You don't want to have to jump through so many hoops to use these things, use these perks. I will say, though, if you're planning ahead, like a family trip with a companion certificate, if you're planning as soon as the schedule opens, usually you can find availability. So you just have to plan those trips sort of in advance.
And when you're talking about in advance, though, how far in advance? Because that's what's really difficult. Like a year in advance, nobody knows what they're doing a year from now.
I know it's hard to plan that way, but that's the best strategy. And what I'm hoping, though, is as Delta rolls these changes out, that maybe they'll add more flexibility for these as well. So they'll make more upgrade space available. They'll make more certificate space available.
We're talking to Clint Henderson from The Points Guy. Well, can you give us actually some good news, some positives for the Delta Amex?
Beyond the last, which was a positive negative. You have this, but you can never use it.
The big changes.
So there's all kinds of what we in the business call coupon ability with these cards. Now, you get up to $240 in statement credits when you use the card for the reserve card at Resy restaurants. So any restaurant that's affiliated with the app Resy. And that's up to $120 on the Platinum and the Platinum Business card. So that's nice if you can find a restaurant that you use with Resy. It's actually not that hard to use, but I will caution you need to activate these things in advance in your profile page on Delta. So make sure you do that. The other one that's pretty cool is up to $120 in rideshare credits. Now they dole these out in drips, $10 a month. But I was able to use one even just yesterday for a local New York-based car share company called Revel. They use an all Tesla fleet. So that $10 credit already hit my account. The ride was $50. I got $10 off in statement credits by using my Delta Reserve card.
So that one's easy, right? So you just have to connect your Amex and it's going to use it.
Yeah, you just have to use that card to pay for the ride share.
And I was going to say a lot of restaurants use Resy now.
Do they?
Yeah, a lot of them have gone from Open Table to Resy.
Yeah, and you'll see as this rolls out that a lot of restaurants, as long as you use the card, it's not like you have to make the reservation through Resi. It just automatically knows if that restaurant is a Resi base. You just have to use the card. So
Okay, so hold on. Let's slow down on that one. So if it's a Resi restaurant, you use your Amex, you will get the credit. You don't have to do anything.
I thought you just said you had to update that on your profile.
You have to you just have to select that benefit on your benefits page on American Express. So that's all you have to do, and then it's set it and forget it. It's just a one-time thing.
So you turn it on. You just have to turn it on.
Basically, you just turn it on. Same thing with the rideshare credits. You have to turn it on the benefit.
Well, that's good.
I'm looking at some of the restaurants: Bacchanalia, Kevin Rathbun Steak, Highland Tap. So they're really across Soto, Gun Show, Little Bear. So it seems to be a lot. I'm looking at a map of Atlanta. All right, that's a good one. But man, if you didn't know to turn that thing on, you would never know.
Exactly. You'd be up without a paddle.
Where do you find that to turn it on?
So if you go to your American Express page and you just click on the Delta card and then you click on the benefits section, and you'll see it's very clear once you get there. It's very similar to other ones. What the credit card companies are counting on is that people forget to activate these things, or they forget they have these credits, and then they don't use them. And so they're counting on what we call breakage. So in other words, the consumer breaks the benefit by not using it, and it saves American Express a lot of money. So that's why you see all these sort of couponing situations happening.
Okay, give us some downsides. What are some things people are going to be pissed about even more after the whole announcement?
Well, I love that, Barnes.
So the Platinum card, you don't get lounge access anymore, right?
With Platinum?
With Platinum card, no lounge access. You used to be able to buy your way in at $50 a pop.
What about the new Centurion Lounge that just opened last week here in Atlanta? Do you get in with the Amex Platinum on that? Because it's in the E-Concourse, but still, it's nice and swanky.
No, you do not. You would get in there if you have the Platinum card by American Express.
Oh, that's what I was saying, the Platinum. So you can get in with
the regular Platinum, not the Delta Sky Miles Platinum.
Okay.
So
God, it's confusing.
Set it straight.
It is. But your Delta Reserve card will still get you into Delta lounges and to the American Express Centurion lounges same day if you're flying Delta. So that is a nice benefit of that Reserve card, which is the higher end card that's much more expensive. So that's a good benefit. But also ahead is they're going to limit the number of visits you can make in a year with these cards. So that's the Reserve card. That's the more expensive card. You'll be limited to a certain amount of visits a year. If you spend $75,000 on that card, you can bring in guests for free. And starting in 2025, I wouldn't recommend people put that much spend on these cards. It's just not worth it.
Well, unless you pay it off every month and you're just gaming for the toys.
But here's why I say that. I say that because you could have a card that gives you more points per dollar spent. So
which one is that?
So any of the Chase Reserve, the Chase Sapphire, the American Express Platinum card, a lot of cards will give you more points per dollar than 1 point per dollar, which is what the Reserve and the Platinum and the Gold Delta.
Well, it's all so confusing, and you guys do a great job. I mean, I've learned the Resi thing. I'm going to totally do the Resi thing because I feel like that will play in because I eat out a lot. I mean, I'm just going to pay attention and turn it on in my system. But go to thepointsguy.com, of course. These guys do a great job of breaking all of these. If you have a question about it, if you Google that question, more than likely it's going to come up with the Points Guy with a great answer. And you guys are very good about laying it out very easily. So
yes,
thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. The other thing that went away was you used to be able to spend your way to at least platinum status. You get a waiver on spend every year, and that's gone away too. So those are sort of the drawbacks.
Man, well, thank you, Clint. We appreciate it, Clint Henderson
Thanks.
from The Points Guy. Have a great day.
Bye.
We'll see you later. Swipe that card. It's 99X.